What is up, YouTube? Big F and Panda here from FGS. Just going to go through a little gameplay footage of Lord of the Rings War in the North. This game came out on November 1st, and so I thought I wanted to be one of the first to put some gameplay footage out there and tell you guys what I think about the game. As you can see, I chose the Ranger of the three characters. There's also a Dwarf who is the tank, and a female elf, and she is like the mage healer type. One thing quick off the bat, as you can see, always check your surroundings as you play through this game, and really any RPG, so you can try to pick up as many good items as you can as you play. One really cool feature about War in the North is that right behind me here, after I go through this chest, is that each character has a special ability that allows them to collect items from special areas. Now, none of the other two can collect things that the Ranger collects, but vice versa for all the other classes. Right here is where I get stuck on my own character, is about the only thing that I really have seen wrong in the game. Mostly you're just going to be fighting and sorting and sifting through items like I'm doing here. I haven't seen any other wonky things happen throughout my gameplay, and I'm towards the end of it. I probably put, I don't know, somewhere between 8 hours in the game so far, but that's nowhere near anything good for me. But decided to cut through part of it where I just ran around and collected items to fighting field. Now, as you can see in this little battle that's going on right here, a little triangle is coming up above some of the zombies' heads. Now, the triangle in this game is for a deadly blow or a critical hit, and most of the time, on most of the enemies, and I do say most loosely, is that it should kill them in one hit, but as I've experienced farther on in the game, usually it just pisses off the harder enemies, and they ended up coming back 3 or 4 more times after you wailed on them. But for being at the beginning of the game, they mostly go down in one hit. Now, I really like the smooth transition that you get from melee fighting to right to your ranged attack. I know a lot of games have issues where they have trouble jumping from one to the other, and I'm not sure why, but this is really smooth. If anybody else has played Warhammer 40k Space Marine, it jumps about that quickly. It's super smooth, it's really easy to switch back and forth, and later on in the game it does get really helpful to have your ranged weapon, but most of the time you just end up running out of arrows or what have you before you get to kill anything from a great distance away if it's a really striking enemy. Now, as you can see throughout this little battle scene, my AI partners just went and killed things as they pleased. I figured out later on that you can control them to be offensive or defensive. I've just left them on offensive so that they go and jump into a fight right away so that I can look around for items before the battle's even over. But I also play very defensively now that I'm in the later parts of the game, way past this, just because they can draw a lot of aggro towards you, and 90% of the time you won't be able to handle it, even if you're getting close to level 20. Now, one thing that I really love about this game is the detailing that they put into the Lord of the Rings universe. The review that I read online said that it didn't feel like you were in Middle-earth, and it didn't feel like you were fighting in the Great War of the One Ring, but From what I've played, every 5 seconds they're mentioning this, that, or the other thing about the ring, or this, that, about what's going on in elsewhere parts of the world. So I really did feel like I was submerged in Middle Earth and that I was a part of something bigger. But I could see from time to time where that's not like the case. But that for me it was few and far between. Also right there you saw they have little action scenes, and it's usually only for critical hits, but I've had it happen where you're just normally swinging and it'll jump to that camera. So that's the only other like wonky thing that's happened in the game for me. And right there, with the distance between me and the enemy, but really, I haven't had any major glitches. Now here we've jumped to a little later on in the same area. I'd consider this a little mini boss. He can, most mini bosses can be a little bit of a douche, but I mean, what mini boss isn't in every game ever made? This guy's supposed to be like a sorcerer, an undead wizard or something, and he throws rocks at you as regular zombies attack. But it's nothing too hard, and with the right skills and level ups and abilities, you should be just fine. Later on in the game, some of the mini bosses feel like they're bosses. They're just so hard. If your AI sticks to what they know how to do, and that's run around and be an idiot, they should distract them while you have enough time to cower in fear as you run away and try to recover some health. The only bad part about the range weapon is that you don't have unlimited ammo, so you have to like pick and choose your spots when you're running low and pick and choose what abilities you use. But your AI companions have unlimited ammo for whatever reason. I guess it had to make it balanced if you had crappy AIs like they tend to be some of the time. But especially later on in the game, not just here, it can get very annoying that you'll try to be fighting something from a distance and run out of ammo, or run out of ammo, I guess you could say, but no, it's not too bad. I am having a great time playing it. If anybody is looking for a partner, I am closing in on level 20 end of the game. I'll be glad to help anybody find weapons if they want. I thoroughly enjoy this game. It's been interesting to play, and it has its ups and downs, but it's really a quality game for the most part. I mean, I wouldn't compare it any close to Oblivion or Fallout or Skyrim, but for being a little name title that has to do with the Lord of the Rings, it's quality. And I do have a history of playing Lord of the Rings games. I have played since The Hobbit came out for PlayStation 2. And I'd have to say this is one of the stronger titles, like the Two Towers back in the day. Alright, right here, I just wanted to show you that each player has these skills, and there's also an auto-assign button down at the bottom. Never hit that. It always picks the stupidest things for your character. You're better off just looking at your damage ability and your armor and going about it that manner. Right here you have your skill trees. They're completely different for the other two characters. I'm a ranger, so it deals more with my melee attacks, my ranged, and my stealth. But as you can see, on the very left side, I have touch the stealth at all.